Oh, we got a Busch Gass acceptance. Gambit glasses on. Busch Gass acceptance in the titled arena. Awesome, awesome stuff. They play the super pro gamer move of knight f3, not even giving us d takes c6, but we still don't allow d4. To play it without knight c3 is interesting and rare. In fact, I have a YouTube video on my opponent played h3, and I fishing pulled them. They didn't actually take. That is one of my more recent Busch Gass YouTube videos. I know the engine always loves c3 and d4, but c3 is always risky. Wow, okay. Okay. Aren't you cool? Okay, well now d4 won't actually attack my bishop. But I don't want you coming here, so incidentally, maybe I should do this. My bet is h3 is playable. Takes in like an 85. And then if I recapture on h3, then there's going to be like bishop g4 check. I mean, you got to be like so smart, but I think... Okay, whatever. I'm just going to do this. What do you got? So h3. If they're scared, they'll play knight d2, trying to replace. Wow, so takes an 85. I'm very impressed. Queen h4 takes. So what I'm going to do is something weird. Which is this. I was also considering f5. f5 maybe would have been better. f5 would have been cool. Takes, pawn takes. Because your knight can't come to e5 there. Unless it can. Because you have bishop takes g4 check. The issue is the king's placement. If your opponent like really knows what they're doing, the issue is the king here, which is why I love playing f5 in these lines. Okay, but they just play knight d2. So takes, queen takes. I got to assume they're in hot water now. What do they got? Rook e1, knight g4, knight f1. Alright, we're just going to play here while we think about things. Takes. I mean, maybe... Takes. My concern was rook e1, knight g4. Oh, okay, what do you got? So I was going to go queen h3, but then you play rook e1. But then I have knight f2. I think they missed knight f2 in this position. That's my bet. Oh, they missed it in that position too. Okay, wait, what's happening there? Do I have better than a draw? Because if I could teleport here, that would be great. But there's bishop f1. So I need to go here. I need to go here, or else it's bishop f1. This takes too many moves. Bishop g3, king g1. There's no follow. So queen g3, queen h3 is just a draw. Bishop f1 I don't think is... No, it's obviously not playable. They have no other moves. So... Okay, bishop g3 and taking the rook. Can I keep playing the game without just doing the draw? Okay, wait, let's go... Tough decision. Let's go queen takes. Alright, I could draw. But... Drawing is for losers. So let's just risk everything. Queen h3, bishop takes. Yeah, okay. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. If I could go here and here, that would be great. I don't know why you're untangling. Okay. Check. You took away my rook g6, but what about my rook h6? Maybe I'm just going to do this. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, wait. No. Okay, fine. What do we got? Okay, you got that check. You're just going to run. You're just going to run to d3. was actually a really good idea. Run to d3. Oh. Oh. Oh, that was not a good pre-move. Flag, 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 flag.
3, 2, 1.
Yes! One pawn! The one pawn! And my opponent plays the very precise move, pawn to h3. Very precise move. Because I don't have bishop takes h3 at this moment, but it's not obvious why. And I think, yeah, if you just play pawn takes h3, you are probably maybe losing here, but you do have knight e5. So even though you're losing this knight, you have bishop g4 check. So it's difficult to see. But if you don't have like a killer resource and you're just doing something, then you should lose here with the knight completely frozen due to this, and like just like bring a rook around to this here kind of situation, and white should lose. But sometimes there is nice resources here, like knight g5 is actually a pretty concrete resource. With that being defended, your queen is under attack. Knight takes h3 is just going to be the next move once you move your queen. And you don't have bishop g4 here, which sometimes works, right? Like in the Von Papil, you can just do that and go queen here next turn. But this is check. It's check, it's check, it's check. So that changes everything. So h3, nice find. Knight f6, nice find. So f5 here was also viable. Apparently there's some crazy line take. Oh, knight e5. So the knight, again, can't move because I'm 8, but knight e5 is playable because even though this is hanging, this is check, and I lose my queen. Knight takes, d takes. I mean, you got to calculate this, but apparently white should be good here and not get mated. But yes, the resource that they have to play with is this king. And so that's why c3, d4 is correct. You put the pawn on d4 to have knight e5 here, which is a knight move that, doesn't get you mated real quick so that you can threaten on g4, right? It blocks the bishop to not get you mated. So in the game, knight f6. So I'm egging them on. Takes, knight takes g4, right? If you do nothing, at minimum, I have a draw, right? So at minimum, I can go here, and then whenever I want, I can maybe do some other move, but I have check here, check, right? Obviously, you can't make that trade. And so I have a draw. And if you play g3, queen h3, okay, so some stuff like this happened in the game. Okay, in the game, knight bd2, which is their first blunder, which is like the most reasonable move. But I think knight bd2 is a blunder. So it wants like rook e1 so that the king can maybe run away in some lines. I think it's also so that this will never really work because of just like the bishop f1 resource. If you have bishop f1 right away before I can even come in here, then you should probably be able to patch up. But like this is tough defensive resources. I think they did everything right, and knight d2 is so reasonable. Like it's like doing nothing, and now it's going to like defend like the h2 square and maybe here. Like it's so reasonable. But okay, the engine wanted me to just go for it. Takes here. I did actually see this, but this is just a draw. It's just saying check, check, check. But yeah, after rook to e1 with the bishop or knight coming to f1, it's too many defensive resources. And the problem is these pawns are here, and so like my rooks can't come here, and it takes me too long. It takes me too long to deliver a knockout blow. Okay, knight d2, rook e8, bringing that rook into the game. I don't know, pretty reasonable. But knight c4 in hindsight is very, very reasonable. And now that knight can get rid of the bishop, which is actually causing a lot of problems. And then I might just be down a pawn and worse once that gets taken with check. So yeah, I need that guy kind of. So we both missed that, and they went for this h takes g4 line. So knight takes g4, I mean, because we're human, even though we're good humans, we're human. So g3, taking away this move. Actually, this crazy move, knight h4, trying to take this with check, which would have launched some wild lines here. Okay, g3 and queen h3. Before that, knight can come to h4 and take away, like, all my ideas. We jump in queen to h3. I don't understand this move. But okay, queen h3, threatening like takes and all that fun stuff. Give me a couple of moves, please, and I'll go all the way over here. So we're down a clean piece. We sacrificed that bishop just for the h pawn. They're playing rook to e1. Oh, I took I just should have taken like this. Takes. So I left the bishop on the board. I should have just left the knight on the board. Yeah, king h1, knight f2, king f1, queen f2. Whoops. Okay, and then otherwise, like, you come back, but then, okay, well, that's me. So, whoops. Okay, but anyway, take, and the engine's like, you should just take the draw. You should just take the draw. And okay, I could have guessed that. But I went for it, rook e6. Very tough. The best move was here, just giving the knight hole. But they go here, I go check, engine again wants me to take the draw, I go no. But bishop d3, it was a good move. It took away rook g6, and so I'm trying to come around. and they find a really nice idea here. I think it's their only idea because they're going to get mated over here, but their one idea is actually check to use this annoying resource onto my king, right? It's always good if your king, to attack, your king needs to be a non-factor. Like, you need to prioritize your own king safety. And so spending a move with king b8 is generally pretty useful. But yeah, bishop f5, and then the king has that square to run away. That's actually going to be their saving grace here, and they do it. Check and king e2, which was a really nice find. And at this point, I'm probably lost because it's 2 pieces down at this point. But anyway, so at this point, yeah, I mean, it's just wild. They continue to find nice moves. Actually, knight f1 to eliminate this rook. And then they defend correctly. They actually do everything right, except move fast enough and then get rid of this pawn. So, okay, a really, really funny game in the Busch Gass Gambit. Kudos to my opponent for playing well, but I don't know. That's why we got him play. That's why it goes crazy in Blitz. It goes crazy in Blitz. I miss my chances, too.
William Wgraif, the Gambit man, takes his seat at the board. E4. E5. Knight F3. Bishop C5. The Busch Gass Gambit on the board. On with the Gambit classes. Hero pod unlocked.